What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TV Toycast YouTube channel. Today we are unboxing from the Retro Spawn line from McFarlane Toys. It is Series 8. It is Sabre. Really cool figure. One I'm excited to check out. I've been kind of dabbling in the Retro Spawn figures for a minute now, and even before I was doing the channel, I had a few, obviously, as you guys have probably seen. And I found this pretty good deal, $14.99. I can't complain about that. Especially with the sign of the times. So it's a little bit more expensive than probably what it was then, but for 2025, no complaints for me. And very, very cool figure. Again, not a figure I'm real familiar with, like with most Spawn. I do dabble in the Spawn comics a little bit, but comics, who here's a comic book fan? If you're a comic book fan, please throw it out in the comments down below. Have you guys noticed any fandom nowadays? Whatever you're into, you have to be like all in on that and only that, or you don't have time to do anything else. Right? If it's toys, it's only toys. If it's comics, it's like only comics. And I feel like that's kind of the problem we see a little bit. Travis recently revealed on TV Toycast the podcast that he sold all his big rubber guys simply because he could not keep up. He was like, it's too much, and I'm getting like frustrated with it, so I'm out. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting, because I still love the line, but I'm like, I feel your pain. You know what I mean? So there is that for sure. And with this line, it's excellent, but yeah, it's a lot. It is a whole lot. And so, not this line, but toys in general and comics in general, it's a lot. And so, one thing I do like about retro figures like Sabre here, I can buy this whenever, right? If I didn't buy it at this store, which I think he had two there, I could bought it on eBay, probably for a similar price, maybe a little bit more expensive with shipping and stuff. But as you can see, card's not in the best shape, but that's okay. That's what I'm going for. I'm going to unbox it. My whole thing with this is I just want to make sure I don't buy them loose. I'm buying them mint on card, or on card at least, so I can unbox it here on the channel. In fact, there's another retro line I'm about to dive into, Total Justice. I'll go ahead and spoil that now. I ordered a figure already. Not real expensive. If people remember, that's kind of like a Justice League style line with a lot of the DC superheroes. Loved them as a kid. Never had any, but I always thought they were cool. And so, definitely something I'm looking forward to. But Sabre here, look at the card art, man. This card art is just incredible. A little dark for the 90s, but so cool looking. Of course, it's part of Series 8. A lot of Spawn lines. And we're going to look at the roster here. What a roster. What a roster. Let's get a little bit of a closer look if we can. Of course, we've got Renegade. Wow, that's a cool figure. Rotar. Curse of the Spawn. We got Sabre. We got Gatekeeper. That's a good figure. And Gravedigger. Series 8's a pretty stacked wave. Series 7, no slouch either. We got Scourge, Crutch, Twitch and Sam, Spawn the Third, the Mangler, Nobody, I love that one, and Zombie Spawn. So very, very cool stuff there as well. And then, of course, these are kind of in scale with Total Chaos. Kyle Peterson unboxed that Poacher a while back. It's a big elephant. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Brain Drain, look at these things. These are just absolutely awesome. Makes me want all of them. And some other ones, some monsters there. So very, very cool stuff. And then a cutout trading card, which I think is really fun. You don't see that too much nowadays. I guess because more people probably leave stuff mint on card would be my understanding of that. But I still think it's cool. I still think even if people don't cut it out, it's cool to keep on there. Like if this, obviously you're not going to be hanging it up. There's no J-hook. It is beat up. But if you want to cut out that card, how cool would that be? Now, it's a little bit bigger scale than most trading cards, but still cool. Still cool. Looks like he's got a pull trigger. Let's see. Put it on the camera shot. How about that one? Pull trigger on the back to fire. Battering ram moves into different firing positions. Skull can store on horns. Very cool. So got a weapon as well. These are fun. These are a lot of fun. Let's open it up. See what all the fuss is about. And the value is dropping. Yeah, but toys are meant to be opened. Come on. You guys are watching unboxing videos. I don't hear none of that crap. Oh, you shouldn't unbox them, which I don't. I mean, I think most of us get that thrill. That's why we're watching this. That's why you're watching this. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I watch other unboxing videos. I like opening this stuff. And I'm dropping stuff everywhere. Fantastic. I'm used to twist ties, holding it all in place. The one time I don't get them, and look what happens. And I dropped something, and I don't know what it was or where it went. Well, we'll call that like it was meant to be. How about that? Because I have no idea what I dropped, but I saw something hit the floor. We'll see if we can figure that out. We do have this twist tie. Fantastic. That's gone. See if he stands up well. Not a ton of articulation here, but a decent amount for a big old boy like this. That's for Steve Hoker. That's his favorite. Always looking underneath the loincloths. Oh, that's cool. So you kind of got that right there. Then boom, missile fire. Looks like this pops right in here. Maybe. I'm going to hold on to it so it doesn't... Oh, yeah. Missile firing action. I like it. He stands up pretty good. That's cool. Cool figure. Like I said, the Spawn line is really cool. And I think it's awesome that you can include, Wetworks and Total Chaos and Youngblood and all these other lines kind of as part of one. And I think that is something we could... that would benefit other lines too, like having kind of like that crossover. Here's what fell. It is a skull. Yeah. Where does this go? I have no idea. Right here? Right there. How about that? That worked. I don't know if that's where it goes, but that works for me. Looks cool. Maybe if I look at a reference picture. That's exactly where it goes. I'm a genius, ladies and gentlemen. Figuring things out. That's how we do it here. But very, very cool figure. Like I said, the Spawn line has been a favorite of mine since I started the channel, but even before I was kind of dabbling into them a little bit, because for the most part you can get these at resale shops relatively cheap. Also eBay, of course. eBay is always a good source for a lot of different things, as we all know. And you're not going to break the bank. Even on card, you're not going to break the bank. And I think that's what's fun. Like, I would love to unbox WWF Hasbro's. I would love to unbox LJN, WCW Glue, but those are expensive, as we all know. And I can't bring myself to unbox a figure that's $40 or $50. But every now and then you can find ones that are decent priced. The Total Justice Kenner line's not too expensive. Actually, the Marvel Toy Biz figures aren't too terribly expensive. So I do have a bunch of those, so I'm not necessarily going to buy stuff I already have. I do want to, because that could be a dangerous game right there, my gosh. But stuff for the channel is got to be stuff I want, or stuff I'm like, okay, I do want these, and I think that works. And so that's what I'm going to do. But, we're going to get a little bit closer look at Sabre here. Very, very cool. Look at the detail. For like mid-90s, the detail on this is absolutely top-notch. And to have an action, right? We don't see that a lot anymore, especially with like more independent companies. That's kind of a thing of the past. The Mattel still does it, obviously, with their retro style figures, but not something we see a lot. And he stands up very, very well. I was kind of worried about him because he looked a little off balance, but he stands up very, very well. So yeah, awesome figure for sure. And again, that's what's fun about Spawn, is because you can tell this is all original sculpting. There's no like, hey, we're going to reuse these parts. Obviously, that's not going to be the case, because look how unique this is. Spawn, he did a good job of, variant colors and stuff like that, but pretty much this is going to be unique to this specific character, which I really, really enjoy that. And like I said, there's so many Spawn figures across all those multiple lines that there's a lot more to unbox. I've got a lot more to unbox, and there's a lot more to get. So I actually picked one up today on my toy hunting. I always stop by all the vintage shops, usually about once a week, and picked one up. They had one for $10. I'm like, you know what? Picking it up, Dunsky. So yeah, makes it fun, But like I said, I love unboxing newer stuff. I love unboxing some of this classic stuff. Not all the time, of course, but when it's warranted, I think it's a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys into the Spawn figures? I don't think they've re-released this one in the 2020 line. That's kind of in the same scale as the DC Multiverse. He would be a great Mega figure. That's a big reason I didn't dive into those. Too many Mega figures. I'm like, I don't need a bunch of big figures. Some, I'm like, okay, Bane, yes. Clayface, yes. The Spawn line had several characters that were big, and I'm like, it's still too much for me. I don't need all of those guys. Some of them are fun, but you gotta draw the line somewhere. We only have so much space, of course, but yeah, Sabre, definitely a cool figure, and one I'm excited to put on the display and to take the pictures of, and all the good stuff I get to do with all these figures, which is always a lot of fun. But if you guys enjoy these unboxings, make sure to subscribe. As I mentioned in my last video, when I get 100 subscribers, and I'm just over 50 now, I will be doing a giveaway of sorts. And I'm planning to do one for every 100 subscribers. So tell your friends, share the video if you can. That helps out a lot. Or even share old videos, maybe of ones that you prefer. Maybe you're not a Spawn guy. No shame in that. The previous video I did was The Simpsons. Maybe that's more your jam. Maybe you like the wrestling. Maybe you like the Ninja Turtles, the Thundercats, whatever it is. But share some of the videos, and that helps get the word out, and it gets me more subscribers, which is always appreciated. But check out some of my other unboxing videos. How about Santa Batman? Talking about a little McFarlane from the DC Multiverse line. Really fun figure. How about Count Dracula from Operation Monster Force? I got a lot of Operation Monster Force I got to unbox. That'll be coming up sooner rather than later. Michelangelo from the Super 7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from my good friend Steve Hoker. I joke with him a lot, but he's been a great friend and someone I talk to on a daily basis. So he hooked me up with a lot of Super 7 Turtles, and I got a stack of them right here. So hopefully those will be coming up relatively quickly. Speaking of independent toy companies, how about Fist, the Fist Trooper? Another really fun figure. I got the rest of the Fist guys to unbox. I've unboxed a lot of Transformers like Wolfang, like Jazz, Black Arachnia. All available in the archives. How about Pat McAfee from the Mattel WWE Elite line, and Waylon Mercy from the Hastel Toy Grappler and Gimmicks Retro line. So many unboxings, and I'm doing 3 a week, which I never thought I'd be able to pull off, but so far I've been able to make it happen. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too. I love the comments. I love the interaction. Please keep that coming. And let me know what you'd like to see. If there's something you'd like me to see me unbox, maybe that's not on my radar, let me know. Maybe I can make it happen. And make sure, of course, to check out the TB Toycast podcast every Thursday. And me and Travis have a different main event. We also talk about what has us excited, what we're picking up, maybe what we're dropping, and everything in between. So check that out wherever you get your podcast. And that's all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That's Sabre. And we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly, so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.